How you doing? Duff here. This is my girlfriend's 2007 Toyota Prius, and as you just saw there, the maintenance required light is on. That's something that comes on with these things every 5,000 miles to remind you to change the oil. I've never done any how-to videos with her Prius. She's had it for a few months, likes it a lot. So I figured I will cover doing the oil change and the air filter change in her car. Something different. Believe it or not, I currently have 5 vehicles at the house. This is my SSR. This is my mom's Toyota RAV4. My 96 Chevy van. My girlfriend's Prius. And the Tacoma. So, gonna soon need a bigger driveway. Okay, here's the tools I'm using for the job. My socket set, an oil catcher pan, my rolling creeper. I have Mobil 1 5W30 oil. Fram extra guard filter, number PH4967. Air filter is CA10159. Also going to be doing the wipers as well. The reason I'm doing this is not only is the maintenance light on, but we're actually going to be taking this vehicle cross country in like 7 or 8 days. So I figured this is a ideal time to do this. So let's get started. I'm going to drain the oil first. Okay, right there is the drain plug. It's on the passenger side of the motor compartment. Have to see what size that is. Okay, that's a 14 millimeter bolt on the oil pan. Okay, after breaking it loose, you can just turn it out the rest of the way by hand. I'm applying pressure towards the oil pan as I'm doing this to keep the oil from running out until I have it all the way out. And then once you have it all the way out, you just quickly pull it out to minimize the amount of oil that you get in yourself. So I'm going to let this drain until it's down to a couple drips. I forgot to mention an oil filter wrench is another tool that's handy with this job, as well as shop towels, because you're going to get oily no matter how careful you are. Okay, it's almost done, as you can tell. I don't see one on here. A lot of times when you take an oil filter plug out, there'll be like a crush washer on it. Like I said, I don't see one there. You don't always need one, but it's a good idea to replace it. If not every oil change, every other oil change, just to prevent leakage. But this thing was not leaking, so. And I don't have a crush washer here, so I'm just gonna cross my fingers. Okay, drain plug's back in. Have it hand tight, and I'm gonna just hit it with a 14 millimeter socket again. You want it tight, but you don't want to lean on it, because if you crank it down too hard, it's gonna be a real pain to break loose next time. So snug, but don't go crazy. Okay, they make the oil filter very accessible in the Prius, which is nice, because I've worked on some cars where the filter is not accessible at all. So it's right there, probably about 10 inches from the drain plug. I'm going to put my wrench on there and just give it a little tug to break it loose counterclockwise, and then it should come off by hand. With the filter, there's no way to avoid getting oil in yourself, so I would recommend these nitrile gloves. Keep turning it out by hand. I like these Fram filters because they have this grippy surface. It makes it very easy to turn them out and to turn them back in. Alright, so I got it off the threads. Drop it down and then turn it. Dump what's left. And we'll let this drain for a little bit. And then I'm going to take my towel and wipe off all that oil that's accumulated there. You know, because otherwise you're going to smell it burning. Okay, little trick when you're putting your new oil filter on. See that rubber gasket there? You want to put your finger in your oil pan and get some oil on your finger, and then just rub a thin coating of oil on that gasket. And that helps it seal and also makes it not get stuck when you go to remove it because of the high heat that it's subjected to. If you don't put a little layer of oil on there, you could have a really hard time turning the filter off. So that's what I'm going to do next. Okay, wipe down that area around there. Now I'm just going to turn this back on by hand. It's usually very easy to get these started. Just spin it until it's hand tight. And then once it's hand tight, I'll put my wrench on it and I'll give it another maybe half turn, quarter to half turn. And again, just like the oil drain plug, don't go crazy cranking it. Okay, I've moved to the engine compartment. Right there is the oil drain plug, or I'm sorry, the oil filler plug. This takes, according to the manual, 3.7 quarts of oil if you're replacing the filter. So that's a little under 4. So on my 5 quart jug, I'm just looking at this little clear spot on the back to fill it a little bit below 4, or to leave it at just about the 1 quart mark on here, a little before that, and then I'll take it down and just check the stick. Okay, put just under 4 quarts in. I'm going to back it off these ramps, get it level, and read the dipstick. Once it's down, you want to make sure that you don't see any oil leaking from either the filler plug or the area where the oil filter is. Okay, the oil dipstick is located right here in the front of the engine bay. I'm just going to pull it out and wipe down the stick and see where we're at. Okay, it was just a hair low. I'm going to put a little bit more in and we'll be good with the oil. Not sure how well this will show up on video, but like right there is where you want it. That second dot is full. That first dot indicates a quart low, so looks good right now. Okay, so the oil and filter change is done. Let's move on to the air filter. This is something that they recommend that you do every 12,000 miles. Air filter box is right here in the front of the engine compartment. It's held on by these clips, which just have these little tabs to release it. Flip this up. Oh, another tab over there, sorry. Comes up like that. Right there's your air filter. This is kind of weird. I've never seen an air filter configuration like this. There's a new one, there's the old one. But then on this side there's another type of filter. I assume that's replaceable, but when you buy a new Fram air filter, this is not included. So I'm going to replace what's there. Should be very easy. Just lays in there. New one goes. Make sure the rubber fittings are all the way down. So, okay, make sure that the rubber is fully seated, and then you just reverse the process. Just slap this back in, and I'm going to put this down while I re-snap the cover on. Okay, it's back in place. That's it. Obviously, changing the air filter is very, very easy. Last thing I'm going to do is replace the wiper blades. Again, going on a road trip, it's always a good idea to have fresh wiper blades. So let me drop the hood and start working on those. Okay, if you've never done wiper blades before, it can kind of almost seem like a puzzle. It can seem kind of confusing how to get them off. This uses J-hooks. So basically this whole arm comes off, and you can see there's a hook in here. I'm going to remove the one, and then I'll be able to show you better how it comes off and goes on. Okay, basically there's this little tab here. I squeeze that tab in, and I'll just reverse this quickly. Okay, so basically when you turn the blade like this, you have a hole in the top that you can slide the whole thing down. This actually just kind of came apart in my hands. And when you do that, it releases and it's off. Okay, so now we're going to reverse that to put the new one on. With the 2004 to 2009 Prius, the passenger side is a 26-inch blade. I'm sorry, the driver's side is a 26-inch blade. The passenger side is an 18-inch blade. So, just FYI. And again, this is like, if you've never done this before, this is going to seem confusing. It really isn't. So if you see how the hook is here, it's going to go in front of that blade and through the hole in the top. First I'm going to move this assembly up. Okay, it's going to be vertical. I'm going to go through there, down below it, and then back up and snap it in like that. Snap this down. funny. I'll tell you how easy it is, and then I screw it up. Okay, when you're putting this on, it actually goes the other direction. The blade is facing away from you. I'm coming through the top, and then I'm hooking the centerpiece onto the hook, pushing upwards, flipping it. This one has this little doohickey there. Push that down, go like this. And that one is on, I think. Okay, one more correction. With the Rain-X setup, this little piece that was here, that was there in case you have a different style arm. Since I don't have the style arm, you just remove it, and then that allows it to seat all the way. So passenger side should go much smoother. Okay, so let's do this one from the get-go. There we go. Gonna turn it up. There's my latch. Push it down. Off the hook, through, and off. Okay. Okay, new one. I took that little annoying piece out already. Okay, go down. Down past it. This is hard to do with one hand. Back up till it locks in place. Flip it. Down and done. Okay. Obviously, you want to make sure that your wipers are firmly seated on your windshield, or they won't do a very good job. So there you go. So that is how you change the oil filter, the air filter, and wiper blades on a 2007 Prius, but the same technique should work on a 2004 to 2009 Prius as well. Hope you found this helpful. This is Duff signing off of another amateur automotive maintenance session. See ya. I forgot one very important thing. How do you get rid of that maintenance required light? I've done this on my... I used to have a Toyota Camry hybrid. So let's see if we can do this the same way. I mean, I could just Google this if I was smart, but I'm not always smart. Okay, so what I did is I just hit the odometer button. I'm going to turn it off, and then if it works like it did before, you turn it on while holding the odometer button, I think. Or maybe not. Okay, it's similar to the Camry, but not 100%. Basically, instead of having it on one of the triple odometers, you just need it on the main odometer setting. You can see the maintenance required light is on. So now you turn it off, and now you hold down the odometer trip button while you start the vehicle, and you'll see that the light will go off. There you go. So you basically just hold down the odometer trip button until the maintenance required light goes off, and you're good to go for another 5,000 miles. So again, this is Duff signing off. Thank you for watching my Prius oil change video. Hopefully you found it helpful. See ya.